Good morning. It's Monday. I hope it's a good Monday. Um, Jen has had snarky juice, aka coffee. I am on my second mug of tea, which I am so happy about having hot tea because I had tooth extraction last week and couldn't drink hot tea. Couldn't have anything hot for 5 days. It sucked. So I am making up for it today. So first things first, let's pull our Attracting Abundance card. Find Jane Struthers. Jane Struthers. Back of the card is pretty. Oreo Borealis. Health and well-being. Radiate. Stand in front of the mirror each day and say out loud, I am in perfect shape for my optimum health now. Wholeheartedly believe in what you are saying. So a little more self-love. Wow, there is so much going on this week. Specifically today, today I am hosting an interview with Adrian Santiago from Books by Adrian on the Wings for Writers YouTube at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So it is a great time to come ask your burning questions of Adrian Santiago, who writes sci-fi fantasy in a way. It really is a jumble of the two. Hi, Rich. It's good to see you. Yes, I got the Smexy librarian glasses on today. um, what else is going on? Oh, yes. My first book, Into the Fire, turns 6 years old this week on the 14th. Yes, on Valentine's Day. And I am doing a I am doing a live Q&A on this channel on that day. So love to talk with you guys about inspiration, how it happened, um, how I ended up writing that book, how it ended up being the beginning of something fantastic. So that's coming up. Let's see. I'm not talking to you. No, I'm talking to them. It's not about you. Go tell Mama G. Go on. Go on. Go talk to the other mama. No. Sorry. Puppy interrupted. Yes. It is February 14th. Let me pull up my YouTube think. I was distracted by a puppy who keeps thumping me. Here is and it will be at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern. But here's the link to that so you can click notify me when it's coming out. Let's see what else is happening. Let me think. What else do we have this month? Of course, we have the anthology, On the Wings for Writers anthology. Our first ever anthology is taking submissions. If you haven't checked out the ugh. Okay, I'm going to start over again. Words are hard this morning. I have gotten a lot accomplished this morning. I really have. But I feel rushed this morning because I have this and then I have the interview. So it's like my brain's going, okay, how do we get everything done? And I'm trying to think of everything that's going on this month. But yes, Into the Fire turns 6 years old this week on Valentine's Day. And I can't wait to hang out with you guys and talk about it. um, talk about how I celebrated publishing that book, and how that book encouraged me to be my own publisher. Um, so yeah. Let's see. Um, I did a recap video last Monday about January and what I'm looking forward to this month. And yeah, I've just been plodding away. Been resting a lot because of the tooth extraction. I don't know why this one really sent me for a loop. Like, I slept a lot with this one. I don't remember my other tooth extractions causing me to be this tired, but I slept a lot this time around. Um, oh my goodness, what all else is going on? I can think of everybody else's things that are happening. Oh yes, Hematite Without Faith just recently dropped an episode on Thursday. We have another one coming for you on next Thursday. Amber and Ashes, we dropped on Saturday because I've been feeling bad, but we will have another one out for you on Friday. I'm sorry about that being a day late, but it will be there. I am working on the last novella for Burning Desires. It will be out hopefully at the end of this month. If not, it will be out early March. I promise. This box set is coming, and it's coming this quarter because this is the last piece that needs to happen. Small Embers. It's the last piece. It's going to be the freebie for you guys to read. It's going to be included in Burning Desires. It is part of the box set. This box set is happening. And then I can get onto the last edits for Obsidian Vendetta to get it out before Pride. So I can hopefully get a booth at Pride. So I'm really looking forward to that. Our author of the month is H.S. Winter. Let me get her the link for you guys. You've made me decide to add my serials and extra content to Substack. Awesome! That's wonderful, Rach. Yes, I've been because I left Ream and Kindle Vella is gone. It's pretty much gone at this point. They're shutting it down. I was like, where else can I publish my stories for free for people to read? And I was like, well, Ann Crow has a Medium. And so that's where I've put them. So they are on Ann Crow's Medium. But our author of the month is H.S. Winter. I'm going to pin this to the top of the chat. So check her out. Check out her social media. Sign up for the newsletter. Do all the things that help out your local author. I know you're on Medium, but I think Substack and Medium combo might be a thing. Yeah. I've been sharing the links on my notes on Substack when I publish on Medium because it is me, and so I want to share them across the board. So I need to update Ann Crow's website. But yeah, I need to add that to my to-do list, of course. More things. And I'm not going to make a note of it right now. But yes, I think that is a great choice, especially for things that we're giving away for free. If you want to get stories that are not free yet, you can always go over to my Buy Me a Coffee link down below and sign up to become a cup member, and you get a free weekly story. So yeah, that's where Hematite Without Faith happened. and now it's being edited and everything and going out. And there's some other perks that you have as being different cup members. So buy me a tea. Mm. But what do I have planned for this week? Of course, working on the episodes. I've just sent notes to Jen on, DC Sadie, about Amber and Ash's next episode. So we've got that out. Um, so working together on that. Um, Jen and I are going on a date. I think I may change up the date. I had a plan for something, but I think that's too much. And so I've got something else planned. But I do have her a gift. I just got to go pick it up. Um, so that's something I got to do this week is I got to go visit someone and pick up Jen's Valentine's Day gift. And yeah, what else? What do you guys have planned for this week? Considering this week is the middle of the month. February is going to fly by, and I feel like I've gotten very little done. Um, well, little done on the project I really wanted to get done. And I just didn't think that this tooth extraction was going to take so much. But I've noticed a lot of people changing things, like Devin's no longer going to be doing writing sprints. Rach, you've had some changes. You're no longer going to be doing them unless you're doing pop-ups. I know a lot of people are dealing with health this quarter. Um, I know I'm having surgery next month. Um, so yeah, it's been a crazy quarter for health. Um, and yeah, at least through quarter one, yeah, because your husband just got out of surgery, what, late last month, early this month? So yeah, woof, it's been crazy. I just can't be consistent due to hospital trips and appointments. Yeah. Yeah, consistency is key, but when life gets in the way, it's like, oh, I know I had a migraine this month and had to deal with a migraine hangover the next day. Um, Luckily, I don't have them very frequently, but they do happen. When they do happen, they do disrupt. Yeah. But I have an experiment Wednesday. Ooh, an experiment. Check out Rachel's channel. Find out what this experiment is going to be. um, Jared Kaufman volunteered as tribute to have his blurb doctored live. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. Check that out on Wednesday. Share the, if you have the link, let us know. Alrighty. Think we're ready to get into tips and tricks. Of course, we're working through The Writer's Little Helper by James B. Smith Jr. Highly recommend this. All right. Oh, there's the link. Yay! I'm going to put it. All right. All right. I clicked the notification bell, so it'll let me know, hopefully. Thank you, Rach. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we are on Q&A. This is a Q&A section. This is on flashbacks. So the first question it says is, should I use flashbacks to write background to my novel? Avoid them at all costs until you get famous. Everybody knows about the flashback. Moviegoers see them all the time, usually brief scenes of a past event that happened help explain the motivation for a current event in the film. Novelists write them all the time, often in a distinctive typeface or format like italics. Most often, a character will tip off the flashback by remembering the previous event. Then the event is played out, sometimes without explanation or preamble. A scene appears, plays out, and the story resumes where it left off. Even these rough cuts of transitionless jumps usually don't bother readers or viewers. If there's any problem with flashbacks, it's that they have become something of a cliche in fiction. Writers use them because they can easily explain things. The trouble is, any form of explanation stops the story, whether exposition, narration, or pseudo action played out in the trappings of the dreaded dream sequence. So I give you this brief checklist to refer to anytime you're considering writing a flashback. 1. Don't find another more artful technique. 2. If you must resort to flashbacks, ration them. Use them sparingly and never in the climax. 3. Be brief. Illustrate your point, get back to the story in the present. And it has a little tip here. It says, all writers, great and small, use flashbacks, but the really talented writers use them as only one tool in an entire toolkit of transitional and textualized devices. Lazy writers drop a flashback into a story because they don't have the energy or imagination to find some more creative method. So, how do you feel about flashbacks? I, hmm, the hub's first scene is usually a flash forward, which I thought was cool. Ooh, nice. Um, I've used a form of flashback, um, especially in Into the Fire, because I would do an event in one person's POV because I do split POV, first person. And so, like, the one chapter would be in Travis's point of view. And so Travis would say something stupid. Foolish. Foolish. Because he's trying to get his friends off his back because he's dealing with things. He's like, I think Travis gets a lot of flack. I feel for Travis, I really do. And I felt for him during the beta reads. Um, so he was trying to get his friends off his back because he knows this relationship is something he shouldn't get involved in. So then I would do the next chapter would be Raven's point of view. So it would be her mishearing or only coming in at a certain point in the conversation. And so she would hear something horrible, which would cause of course, a miscommunication between the two of them. So I've done a version of that. I prefer to use memories in the past being brought up between characters in conversation or mentions of the past in stressful moments. Yeah. The entire process of Sinus and Sebastian working through their past relationship, for instance. Yeah. Yeah, I will occasionally have like a memory, but not a lot of flashbacks. I don't think I have a ton of them. Which is good. Good. According to James here. So it's not that so I really think the takeaway is to use them sparingly if you do. We don't see this story in the main books at all. The story is in the prequels, but you know it happened and that things ended badly just from the reactions and interplay. Yeah. So you want to know. You want to know what happened. So you give just enough away. Just enough. Uh, uh, so just enough away. H.J. Hahn. Go ask Jen. Use those sparingly or don't. Yes. That's the takeaway about a flashback. Either don't use them, find another way, or just rarely. uh, have you ever had a book where a flashback just when you were like, okay, we really didn't need that, or anything like that, where you were like, I don't think I've. Oh, you have. Oh, I would love to hear about that. Um, I don't know if I have. I know I've skipped over a large description. There's an author I love. Absolutely fell in love with her when I was in middle school. But she would describe a meal, and of course, it was a medieval meal because these were historical romances. But after a while, I would just start to skip the meal. I would just be like, "Oh, okay." Mm-mm. I've had to put down a book because multiple flashbacks to the point that it confused me. Oh no, and do not finish. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that sucks. I hate when I'm not able to finish a book. And I always take it as a reflection of me, not the author, um, because it's something about me that couldn't finish it. Sometimes it's that I just wasn't in the right mood, or I didn't particularly like that protagonist, and so it didn't work out for me. Um, I've had that. I've had that where I've started a story and the protagonist just irked me the wrong way, and I was just like, "Oh, do not finish." So I never leave bad reviews. I won't name the author, but he really was too chaotic, and this is coming from someone who loves Moon Tiger by Penelope Lively, which is almost all flashback. Oh yeah. I have trouble with non-linear storytelling where it hops around everywhere. I remember I had the worst time with Anne Rice's Vampire Lestat. I think it was Vampire Lestat. No, might have been Queen of the Damned, because well, like one minute you would be like, in someone's point of view, and then the next chapter she wouldn't tell you who this new point of view was, and you were like, who's talking now? I don't know who's talking now. Thing is, Penelope did it very artfully and deliberate way. Yeah, I mean, if that's your shtick, if that's what you're trying to do with the book, then yeah. But yeah, poor author. Um, but yeah, of course, Anne Rice was notorious for no one got to edit her books but her. Um, that was part of her deal with her publishing company. So yeah, the book is nonlinear because it's the POV of a patient with stomach cancer reliving her life through nonlinear flashbacks and then being lucid every once in a while. Oh wow. Ooh, yeah, that would be hard. Hmm, that would be very hard for me. Though I did watch a show recently that was nonlinear called 8 minutes or 4 minutes, 4 minutes, and it was interesting but hard. So it was kind of like a puzzle for the reader, and it paid off in the end because she tied up all those mini plots. It had to be a lot of work for the yeah. I can't imagine how much work that had to be for that author. to keep everything lined up. Oh, that's the nice thing about suspense is that I usually, yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, we are almost ready to start doing the next read. We are reading If the Seas Catch Fire. Finally got in the copy. Ah, I'm so happy to have this in my hot little hands. Yay! Fire series novel. Yay! Um, I very specifically wanted a fire-like sunset because of the title, and so I was very happy I found a this picture to use for the cover. Um, but it kind of had me change all the other covers because none of them were the same. But that's why the new editions are a different kind of cover now. So, all right, let's get to reading. Move this over. There we go. We are on chapter 7. If you would like to read the previous chapters for If the Seas Catch Fire, there is a playlist that's Tea Time If the Seas Catch Fire. If you would like to read any of the other or hear me read any of the other titles from the Fire series, you can click on those playlists as well. They're all searching out on my channel. So let me get in my drink of tea. Oh, here we go. The sound of the tiny heater at my feet kicks on, and the welcome warmth goes across my ankles as I sink lower in my leather office chair. I look up from my design magazine at the retro clock on the corner of the desk. It's 11:30 and time to get up to go to Raven's lunch and wedding meeting with Anna, Tony, and Mia. Grace, Travis's sister, will join us on the phone from Oklahoma. The ding of a text message sounds from my cell. It's Travis with yet another list of things for the wedding. Sighing and dropping it in my bag, I head down the window-lined hallway, filled with pearl gray light from the heavy clouds darkening the January sky over downtown. I make my way to the lobby and out to the public transit stop after saying a quick goodbye to Jack. Sometimes taking the bus and train system was faster in the afternoon rush of Seattle traffic. Thank goodness it wasn't anything like LA traffic, but it was a close second. When I'm close enough to Ravens, I put in an order for a ride share to pick me up at the station. The car pulls up in front of the floating concrete steps lined on both sides with potted and landscaped greenery. Nash is doing his bodyguard thing in a tight t-shirt and jeans at the top of the steps near the front door, his sandy-colored hair tousled as if he's been running his hands through it in frustration. God, please take some of the stuff she's made with you and save me, Nash whispers as I bump fists with him and the car pulls away. Did she go overboard? Overboard is putting it lightly, woman. She's baking and cooking day and night. I only have so much willpower. You can't ask this of a man. You poor baby. I thump my fist against his washboard abs. You can take it. You say that. But even the guys I'm asking to fill in for me are starting to complain. There's only so much workout time in a day. For the first time in days, I throw my head back and truly laugh out loud. It fills my throat and tears leak from the corners of my eyes. Yeah, laugh it up. You'll see, he grumbles as he leads me into the house. The smells of baked pastry, Indian spices, baked fruits, and desserts fill the air, and my stomach growls, reminding me I haven't eaten today and ate little the day before. Between thinking outside the box for Selma's project and avoiding messages from both Travis and Steve, I keep forgetting to eat. In the dining room, I find Tony helping Anna into a chair at the long table and watch Raven bring platters of delicious little items to the table's limited space. If you bring in anything else, there won't be room for us to make notes, Mallory, you made it, Raven says, and laughs while she puts down the items in her hands and then heads my way for a hug. Tony, Anna, Mia, I greet them from around Raven's shoulder with a friendly nod. Don't you think this is a little much? Poor Nash, I tell Raven as I hear him grumble to himself, taking off into his suite of rooms on the first floor of the dining room. And Raven smiles mischievously. Well, I have to try out recipes for my new online cooking show and then photograph them. I also have to have each recipe at different stages of production, so it's all adds up. You'll all be getting the fruits of my labor, she giggles and motions around the table with her arm. She takes a few moments to look around at me and Anna, trying to make room to take notes at the full table. Well, that is a lot of food, isn't it? She realizes, and then throws her hands up in an oh well gesture. After gathering a few items from the table, we settle in for a tasty menu lunch and chat about the wedding details that require our immediate attention. Grace tells us from the speakerphone on the table that she's excited to come and try on dresses. Tony mentions Malcolm has officially moved to Seattle and he can help with some running around if we need another hand or strong back. Mia agrees to be the photographer for the wedding, and Tony agrees to look for a videographer. We're wrapping things up by picking a few florists and caterers to try out, just as Anna yawns at the table. I'm sorry. I'm paying attention, I promise, she says around another yawn. She still gets tired easily. Tony rubs between her shoulder blades. Here, let me pack you up some food and you can head out. Raven gets up from the table and comes back with adorable to-go boxes and packs up enough food for an army. Take some to Malcolm too for me, will you? No problem, Raven, thanks, Tony says with a chuckle in his voice. Anytime. You get some rest, Anna. Will do, I promise. He won't let me out of bed until I do. She smiles with a naughty glint in her eye at Tony, and the most adorable thing happens. He blushes and shocks the hell out of everyone. I never thought I'd see the day, I say. Tony grumbles good-naturedly as he helps Anna out of her chair and ushers her down the hall towards the front door. Soon it's just Raven and I sitting around the table, nibbling on mini baked brie and puff pastry. How are you handling Travis being gone? Not as well as I'd hoped I would. She motions around at the amount of food still left on the table and what I'm sure is more in the kitchen. I'll drop this off at the local soup kitchen I've been volunteering at. How are you handling Steve being gone? I've been avoiding him. I have so much work to do and I really don't want to get serious. Oh, have you told him this? There's concern in her eyes, and I don't think it's just for me. I know she and Steve have become good friends. No, not totally, I sheepishly admit. So you've just been ignoring him? Yeah, I reply, contrition on my face at my cowardly actions. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised. I would think if it was the other way around, you would want the other person to say something to you, and you wouldn't let someone get away with this kind of thing if it were happening to me. You're right. I'll fix it. Raven stares me down until I pull out my phone and text Steve. If you can call me when you're free today, I need to apologize to you for my behavior. I hit send and a sad smile on my face. You'll feel better getting it out, she says, picking up a quiche to nibble on. Will I? Of course you will, she giggles, and then for the third time that day boxes up an army's worth of food for me to take home. Shame at my behavior burns in my face and like heartburn in my chest on my way back to the office. Raven was completely in the right. If Travis had pulled this same behavior on her or Tony to Anna, I would have their guts for decoration. Yet here I am, being a shameful hypocrite. I would totally expect Steve to tell me if he didn't want to see me again, and be pissed if he was ghosting me. But here I am, unable to even consider the R word without breaking out in hives, and haven't talked to him in days. He's been nothing but honest since the engagement party. It's me, and I don't want to tell him that horrible line. I never want to be a cliche, and when he calls, I'll be honest with him. I like the way things are between us. We can hang out, we can enjoy ourselves in bed, but more than that is just not in the cards right now. And don't forget to apologize, a voice very much like Raven says in my mind. Yes, I agree. apologize. Shaking my head as I enter the building, I try to prepare myself for yet another meeting with Salma. Just a second. Cass paces the conference room, running his ringed hand over his close-cropped head. He got a new haircut recently, and the fade looks nice. Here's hoping that one of the 3 design ideas will wow Salma today, enough that we can get somewhere. We've never been this behind on a project before. Usually by this time, we have already worked on the practical parts of the building designs. We still have to meet with the building contractor we use. Groundbreaking dates come quicker than you can ever possibly imagine, and there are millions of things that have to happen in that period. She wants this building started on a specific date, and that is fast approaching. Selma's voice coming down the hall causes Cass to stop mid-step and turn towards the wall of windows, looking out into the hallway. Dressed impeccably in a feminine cut business suit, with flared slacks and a tailored form-fitting suit coat over a pale champagne-colored camisole, her hair up in a bun at the back of her head and soft tendrils falling on either side of her face. Miss Morin, Cass and I say at the same time in greeting. I hope this won't be a fruitless meeting today, her voice tight like she's already disappointed in us. I think you will like some designs we've come up with. They're like nothing I've seen before. I motion to the stack of design boards beside me on the table. Grabbing the first, I describe where the initial idea came from, origami. She glances at the board and puts it down on the table. A shiver of disappointment goes down my spine. I started with that one because I was most proud of that one. Pulling the next, this one came from an idea of insect colonies. Again, no genuine reaction from her. The last Picasso idea came from a small mountain sky village. He doesn't ski. Sorry, a ski village, not sky. But he liked the thought of smaller spaces connected by a central area. This is it? These are unique designs, like I said. I haven't seen them in the business sector yet. They aren't what I'm looking for. I'll set up another meeting in a few weeks. A few weeks? We don't have a few weeks. Do you know how much has to be done before groundbreaking? Do you plan to push back your date? Cass's voice is low with frustration. No, we contracted for that date and I won't change it for your incompetence. Maybe if you weren't so distracted by outside relationships, you would have something of import to show me. Of note? Cass's voice rises, and I'm shocked because I've never heard him this angry before, much less act like this with a client. Don't use that tone of voice with me, Mister. Selma's voice is low with anger. I think we should take a breather, a breath. I look pointedly at Cass. Maybe if you could show us what you don't like about these designs or what you like, we can have a better idea of the direction you're looking for. Do you think this is the only meeting I have today? I don't have time to hold your hand. Get your personal lives in order and make it work. Selma rises from the chair. Cass mumbles something under his breath, and I look at him. What was that, Mr. Thomas? I said, you're the one being unprofessional, Cass tells her, and my mouth falls open in shock. I can take my business elsewhere, Mr. Thomas. Is that what you want? No, that isn't what we're saying, I quickly say to bring things under control again. Good, I'll be in touch. And she walks out of the room. I glare at Cass. This isn't how I can't even finish my sentence. I'm so angry, acting one way in public, but my business is another matter. Each contract is an advertisement for our work, and I treat each client with professional politeness. I'm just as angry and frustrated as Cass, yet I kept my cool. I just can't be around him right now. Slamming out of the room, I walk out and down the hall to my office. I munch on a pumpernickel bread finger sandwich thing Raven sent home with me as the scent of my favorite coffee fills the doorway of my office. Looking up, I find Cass's large, nimble dark fingers holding a coffee to go cup from my favorite coffee place around the corner. Mitt. Yes, you're forgiven. Good, because I can't stand it when you're mad at me. You're like a vengeful fairy, and I cringe at the idea of revenge you can come up with. You know I can't stay mad at you too long. True, I'm that awesome. Sure, you keep telling yourself that. I giggle at his antics. So what are we going to do about Miss M herself? We're going to win this battle of wills. I will not give up, Cass. Not without giving it my all. I know, Muffin. At least we're coming up with some awesome stuff. There is that. Do you have any more food from Raven? Yeah, get over here. I pull another to-go box out of my office fridge. On my way home, Travis sends me a new text message about wedding ideas based on what Raven shared with him from the meeting. Maybe I should contemplate the idea that I have too many connections that might get in my way of being truly successful. Where would my company be if I weren't hanging out with Raven? If I wasn't trying to help Travis and Raven plan this wedding? Fielding lists from Travis while he's on tour. If this thing with Steve wasn't so confusing, if I pushed Cass more and treated him less like a friend and more like a business partner in a Fortune 500 company, after all, Selma is successful enough to move her entire headquarters to Seattle and build a building from scratch. That takes serious dough and clout. Maybe I have too much on my plate after all. How do you go about cutting things that seem so important to those you care about? I contemplate a step into my apartment. Taking off my office clothes, I rub my tired feet and pull out leftover Chinese from the fridge and heat it in the microwave. As I'm getting ready for bed, my phone rings with Steve's ringtone, and that shame from earlier burns in my chest. I pick up the phone and answer. Hi, how is the tour? It's good. I love playing. I miss other things about being home. You'd be surprised how soon you get over being on the road. I want to apologize for my behavior. Ignoring my calls and texts? Yes, I need to be honest with you. You've been honest with me, and I would expect it out of you. I'm not really built for the R word. I think we should keep things the way they are, having fun together. Thank you for telling me. How was your day? I tell him about the client, the fight I had with Cass. I have an idea. An idea? Yeah, it will help you relieve stress. Intrigued, I ask what his idea is. Phone sex. His voice has gone down in register and sends chills down my spine. I've never tried it before. I slap my forehead silently at my stupidity, admitting that. Who in their late 20s hasn't had phone sex before? I'll be gentle, he says, followed by a sexy chuckle. So that was chapter 7, and I found things in there that need to be fixed. Course, of course, I would find them. Ah, so, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and listening to me read. I hope to see you later today on the Wings for Writers YouTube as we interview Adrian Santiago, and I hope to see you on the 14th. Yes. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Yes, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Wait, why am I going there when I have it here? And here is the link to the interview with Adrian Santiago. It's happening later today. And don't forget that on the 14th, I will be doing a Q&A on here about Into the Fire. So I hope to see you there. Take care. Have a fantastic rest of the week. And remember to talk nice to yourself. So love you all. Be safe. Bye.